Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, today we're bringing you a contest between two different school districts as the Shawnee Mission South Raiders will be taking on the Blue Valley Northwest Huskies. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors for today. First, from Shawnee Mission South.
I'm Marshall, the man, the myth, the legend, Miller, and I'm a senior. I'm Taylor, the boss, Yoon. And I'm a senior.
I'm Michael, the Hebrew Hammer, Yachnis, and I'm senior.
I am Nikki Bone Crusher Webb, and I'm a junior.
I'm Miles, Geographical Measurement Simpson, and I'm a senior.
And our competitors from Blue Valley Northwest.
I'm Michael, and I'm a junior.
I'm Ray, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Tarang, and I'm a senior.
I'm Johnny, and I'm a junior.
I'm Jesse, and I'm a sophomore.
Fantastic. Here on categories, during the first round, we will have take turns answering questions to each team. If a team does respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal that question. We did a coin toss before we started taping, and it was won by Shawnee Mission South. So South, here is the first category. It is sports. What college basketball powerhouse plays home games in Pauley Pavilion? Time on that. Huskies, chance for the sports category. What college basketball powerhouse plays home games in Pauley Pavilion? Jesse?
University of Kentucky.
That is incorrect. It's UCLA. UCLA plays at Pauley Pavilion. Huskies, you do get the next question, which is a math question. How much dirt is there in a hole 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot? Johnny?
1 cubic foot.
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance for this math category. How much dirt is there in a hole 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot? Michael?
None.
None. That is correct. It's a hole. There's no dirt in a hole. Raiders, you do get the next question, and it is criminology is the category. A common trio in explaining crimes consists of means, opportunity, and what else? Nikki?
Motive.
Motive is correct. Huskies, you have the next question, and the category happens to be television. Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are, was the perennial exit for what longtime entertainer often referred to as the schnoz? Ray?
Fran Drescher.
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this television category. Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are, was a perennial exit for what longtime entertainer, often referred to as the schnoz? Time on that. We're looking for Jimmy Durante. Jimmy Durante. Raiders, you get the next category, which is literature. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway takes its title from the book of Ecclesiastes. Which 1989 John Grisham novel also draws its title from Ecclesiastes? Huskies, chance to steal this literature question. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway takes its title from the book of Ecclesiastes. Which 1989 John Grisham novel also draws its title from Ecclesiastes? We're looking for a time to kill, a time to kill. Huskies, you do get the next question. Geography is the category. Guyana is in South America. In which continent is Guinea?
Africa. Africa?
Africa, that is correct. Raiders, next question for you comes from Civil War history. The flag of the Confederacy contains a diagonal cross with 13 stars, 1 for each of the Confederate states and 2 for the slaveholding Union states that failed to join the South. What are those 2 border states? Miles?
That would be Missouri and Kentucky.
Missouri and Kentucky are the 2 we are looking for. Huskies, another literature question for you. Shirley Jackson's famous short story, The Lottery, deals with the horrifying ritual. What is the horrendous deed the townspeople participate in annually? Oh, go ahead. Terang?
Stoning.
Stoning. The winner of the lottery is stoned is the correct answer. Very good. Science for you, Raiders. The Earth's magnetic field stops at the point where its outward force balances with, and it's multiple choice, the pressure of lunar wind from the moon, the Earth's gravitational pull, the moon's gravitational pull, or the pressure of solar wind. Marshall?
The pressure of the moon's gravitational pull.
That is incorrect. Huskies, chance on this science question. The Earth's magnetic field stops at the point where its outward force balances with, multiple choice, pressure of lunar wind from the moon, the Earth's gravitational pull, the moon's gravitational pull, or the pressure of solar winds. Michael?
The Earth's gravitational pull.
That is incorrect. We're looking for solar wind. Solar wind is the answer on that one. Huskies, current events is your category. Angela Merkel claimed victory in Germany's national elections on September 27th, strengthening her hand at home and abroad as one of the longest-serving leaders among Europe's major powers. What is her position or title? Terang?
Is it Prime Minister?
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this current events question. Angela Merkel claimed the victory in Germany's national elections on September 27th, strengthening her hand at home and abroad as one of the longest-serving leaders among Europe's major powers. What is her position or title? Taylor?
Chancellor?
Chancellor is correct. Raiders, the next category for you is aviation. What's the company name on the record-setting XP-59 jet and the Jet Ranger 3 helicopter? Taylor?
Is it Lockheed?
That is incorrect. Huskies, chance to steal this aviation category. What's the company name on the record-setting XP-59 jet and the Jet Ranger 3 helicopter? Terang?
Is it Northrop?
It is not Northrop. It is Bell. Bell. Huskies, you do get the next question, and it is a sports question. What legendary football star of the University of Illinois was known as the Galloping Ghost? Jesse?
Barry Sanders.
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this sports category. What legendary football star for the University of Illinois was known as the Galloping Ghost? Taylor?
Paul Hornung?
That is incorrect. Red Grange. Red Grange is who we were looking for. Raiders, you have the next question. Royalty is the category. Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer were married in London's largest church. Name it. Marshall?
St. Peter's Cathedral.
That is incorrect. Huskies, chance to steal this royalty question. Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer were married in London's largest church. Name it. Terang?
Is it Edmonton Palace?
That is incorrect. St. Paul's Cathedral. St. Paul's Cathedral. Huskies, you do get the next question, and it is a science question. In astronomy, the distance from a star to Earth can be measured by determining the apparent difference in the position of the star with reference to some point on the surface of the Earth and some other point, such as a point on the sun. What scientific term is used to denote the angle described by these points? Time on that. Raiders, chance to steal this science question. With the aforementioned description, what is the scientific term used to denote the angle described by these 3 points? We're looking for parallax. Parallax. Raiders, you do get the next question. U.S. presidents is the category. In September 1881, the president called Abraham Lincoln's son Robert to the White House to tell him every detail of Lincoln's assassination. 2 days later, the president himself was shot and killed. Name him. Taylor?
Was it McKinley?
It is not McKinley. Huskies, chance to steal this U.S. president's category. In September 1881, the president called Abraham Lincoln's son Robert to the White House to tell him every detail of Lincoln's assassination. 2 days later, the president himself was shot and killed. Name him. James Garfield. James Garfield is the answer. Huskies, literature and movies is the category. Who wrote The Voyage Out, Jacob's Room, and To the Lighthouse? The author is portrayed by Nicole Kidman in the motion picture The Hours. Raiders, chance to steal this literature and movie category. Who wrote The Voyage Out, Jacob's Room, and To the Lighthouse? The author is portrayed by Nicole Kidman in the motion picture The Hours. Time on that one. Sorry, the buzzer must have malfunctioned on that one. We're looking for Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf is the answer. Raiders, you do get the next question in his current events. The Obama administration now concedes that it will probably break its promise to close what by January? Marshall?
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay is correct. Huskies, the Constitution is your category. Sir Edward, an English jurist, wrote, "The house of everyone is to him and his castle and fortress, as well as defense against injury and violence and for his repose." Which amendment to the U.S. Constitution enunciates this principle? Johnny?
The fourth.
It is the fourth, which forbids unlawful search and seizure. Raiders, state of government is your category. What is the general name for that kind of state in which government assumes responsibility for education, healthcare, employment, and Social Security? Michael?
The welfare state.
It is a welfare state. Huskies, anatomy is your category. Bile is produced in both the liver and the gallbladder and is useful in the digestion of what food substances?
Fat.
It is fats. That is correct, Johnny. Raiders, next question for you comes from agriculture, and it is multiple choice. The purpose of the parity program for farmers is to set maximum prices on farm products, guarantee purchasing power to farmers, insure farmers against loss by floods, or make credit available to farmers at low interest rates. Marshall?
Make credit available to farmers.
That is incorrect. Huskies, chance to steal this agriculture question. The purpose of the parity program for farmers is to set maximum prices for farm products, guarantee purchasing power to farmers, insure farmers against loss by flood, and make credit available to farmers at low interest rates. Johnny?
Guarantee purchasing power to farmers.
That is guaranteed purchasing power is the correct response. Huskies, you do get the next question. Occupations is the category. The minister in charge of a Roman Catholic parish is called a priest. What is the minister in charge of an Episcopalian parish called?
Deacon?
Excuse me?
Deacon?
Deacon is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this occupations category. The minister in charge of a Roman Catholic parish is called a priest. What is the minister in charge of an Episcopalian parish called? Marshall?
Elder.
Elder is incorrect. Rector, he's a rector. South, you do get the next question. We will finish with this question. It's a spelling question. How do you spell indispensable? Marshall?
INDISPENSABLE.
That is correct, indispensable. And with that correct response, you did open up a bit of a lead. As we go to halftime, Shawnee Mission South has 7, and Blue Valley Northwest has 5. At this time of our program, we do go to our halftime and go to a campus update from each school. And from Shawnee Mission South, I believe Marshall is going to be giving us our halftime update. What is happening with the Raiders?
Well, our academic decathlon team won its 10th straight state championship in Manhattan, Kansas just a little while ago. Our debate team is preparing to send 2 members to the national tournament for the first time in debate program history. 2 members of our KSMS program created a feature about the Facebook game Farmville, and it was ranked 3rd in the nation in its category. And our boys basketball team placed 4th in the Dodge City Tournament of Champions.
Fantastic. So well-rounded in the land of the Raiders. Fantastic. And Michael, you are giving us a campus update from Blue Valley Northwest. So what is happening with the Huskies?
We just finished up our Sweetheart Spirit Week, and the school is transformed for that week. with all the students and staff participating, and the seniors won Spirit Week again. And our winter sports teams are getting to the middle of their seasons, and girls and boys basketball, boys swimming, and wrestling, they all have pretty good records so far. And we had our first full week of school last week, between snow days and all that other stuff.
So you guys are finally getting your kind of the traction for the second semester.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. As we head into the second round, we will start with a look and listen, and it is the beginning of our lightning round. So the look and listen will be displayed to our contestants here in the studio, and the first one to ring in with the correct response will get awarded 2 points. If a team does respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. So both teams, here is our look and listen question for today. Name the cultural icon coined from the following images.
They just dived in and learned their jobs, and of course it was non-traditional.
Oh, Nikki.
Rosie Riveter.
It is Rosie the Riveter. Very good. And with that correct response, you have received 2 points to make your lead 9-5. This is the remainder of the lightning round, which the question is placed on the floor for either team to answer. If a team does respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. Both teams, religion is the category. 2 countries adopted St. Nicholas as their patron saint. Name either one of them. Miles.
Russia.
Russia is correct. Greece would be the other. Science is the next category for both teams. Pressure upon an enclosed fluid is transmitted without change to every part of the fluid. Hydraulic brakes are an example of this fact, called what? Michael.
Bernoulli's principle.
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this science category. Pressure upon an enclosed fluid is transmitted without change to every part of the fluid. Hydraulic brakes are an example of this fact, called what? Pascal's law. Pascal's law is what we were looking for. Art is the next question for both teams. Some of the most incisive artistic portrayals of horrors and brutality of war are the work of which Spanish artist who lived from 1746 to 1828?
She tried to buzz.
Oh.
She tried to buzz.
I'm sorry.
I was wrong.
I'm sorry, it didn't register. We are looking for Goya on that one. Both teams, music is the category. In a symphony, it was first used in Beethoven's Fifth. Jack Teagarden and Glenn Miller are among jazz musicians who played it. Name the instrument.
He's clear.
Oh, yeah. Taylor, go ahead.
Trombone.
It is the trombone. That is correct. In the news is the next question. Joseph Pulitzer gained fame and recognition as both a journalist and the originator of a highly coveted Pulitzer Prize. What newspaper did Joseph Pulitzer own? Tarang?
Is it the New York Gazette?
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this in the news category. Joseph Pulitzer gained fame and recognition as both a journalist and originator of the highly coveted Pulitzer Prize. What newspaper did Joseph Pulitzer own? Marshall.
New York Times.
That is incorrect. The World is the name of the newspaper, The World. Geography is the next category for both teams. It is a multiple part. We are looking for all correct answers. I'll list 3 capital cities, and you name the respective Canadian province. Edmonton, Halifax, and Winnipeg. Oh, Marshall got in right before the buzzer.
Ontario, Alberta, and Saskatchewan.
That is incorrect. Edmonton's Alberta, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Math is the next question for both teams. Mary is 3 times old as Bill. 5 years ago, she was 4 times as old as Bill was then. How old is Mary now? She is 45. Energy is the next question for both teams. The future use of non-renewable energy sources will create environmental problems. Name 2 alternatives to fossil fuels. Marshall?
Hydrogen and electricity.
We cannot accept that. I am sorry. Tarang?
Okay. You got hydroelectric and you got wind power.
That is correct. The other ones we would have accepted, solar, nuclear, wood burning, and geothermal. But wind and hydroelectric are correct. Arts and crafts is the next category for both teams. What handicraft requires you to interlace your warp and woof? Tarang?
Weaving.
Weaving, that is correct. Military is the question for both teams. Here are 4 ranks in the U.S. Navy. I need for you to list them in order from lowest to highest. Here are the 4. Commodore, Rear Admiral, Fleet Admiral, Admiral. Miles.
Commodore, Rear Admiral, wait, actually it wasn't that order. Commodore, Fleet Admiral, Rear Admiral, and Admiral.
That is incorrect. Huskies, Johnny.
Commodore, Admiral, Rear Admiral, and Fleet Admiral.
That is incorrect. Commodore would be the first, Rear Admiral, then Fleet Admiral. British history is the next question for both teams. He was awarded the Medal of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II in 1983 for his work as a radio operator on the isolated South Pacific island of Pitcairn. Name this man's great-great-great-grandfather. Michael?
Sir Francis Drake.
That is incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this British history question. He was awarded the Medal of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II in 1983. Okay. Raiders, you do have a warning. Next time we will deduct a point. Queen Elizabeth II in 1983 for his work as a radio operator on the isolated South Pacific island of Pitcairn. Name this man's great-great-great-grandfather. Miles?
Sir William Pitt.
Incorrect. We're looking for Fletcher Christian. Fletcher Christian. Language is the next category for both teams. What adverb derived from the name of the messenger of the gods in Greek mythology means completely sealed against the entry of air? Jesse?
Hermetically.
Hermetically is exactly right. Math is the next question. What common fraction has the decimal equivalent of 0.0833? Michael?
Is that 1/16?
That is not 1/16. Huskies, chance to steal this math category. What common fraction has a decimal equivalent of 0.0833? Jesse?
1/11.
It is not 1/11. It's 1/12. 1/12. Mythology for both teams. Cupid, son of Venus, was the god of love. A companion of Venus was the god of marriage. He appears at the end of Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream. Name him. You'd have expected Hymen or Hymenius on either one of those. Aviation history is the next question for both teams. He was the top-ranked ace of World War I with an 80 Allied aircraft to his credit when he was killed in action in 1918. Give the name of the Red Baron. Oh, Miles, you did get in.
Sorry, Rickenbacker.
It is not Rickenbacker. Huskies, chance to steal this aviation history. He was the top-ranking ace of World War I with an 80 Allied aircraft to his credit when he was killed in action in 1918. Give the name of the Red Baron. Manfred von Richthofen. Richthofen was what we were looking for. Currently, we have a score of Shawnee Mission South 11, Blue Valley Northwest 8. Art history for both teams. What architectural style is famous for its rounded arches, large domes, lavish interior paintings, and mosaics? Michael?
Byzantinian.
Byzantine is correct. Music is the next category for both teams. It was billed as an experiment in modern music by promoter-conductor Paul Whiteman for its premiere at the Aeolian Hall in Manhattan. This 1924 composition begins with one of the best-known clarinet solos in concert music. Name this composition by George Gershwin. Taylor?
Rhapsody in Blue.
Rhapsody in Blue is correct. World history for both teams. Whom did the Allies defeat in the 1571 Battle of Lepanto? Michael?
The Ottoman Empire.
The Ottoman Empire is correct. Math is the next category. Figure out the first derivative with respect to y of the function cosine 3y. Michael?
-3 negative sine 3y.
We will accept that. That is correct. And with that correct response, you have closed the gap to a score of 12-11. Science is the next question for both teams. Echo is defined as a reflection of sound wave back to its source, strong enough and late enough to be distinguished from the original sound. What word in acoustics means the continuation of sound in a closed space due to repeated echoes? Michael?
Resonance.
Cannot accept resonance. Raiders, chance to steal this science question. Echo is defined as the reflection of a sound wave back to its source, strong enough and late enough to be distinguished from the original sound. What word in acoustics means the continuation of sound in a closed space due to repeated echoes? Nikki?
Reverberation.
Reverberation is correct.
Sweet.
Names the same as the category. What one-word syllable can refer to the slope of a roof or the gunk that may be used to waterproof it? Nikki?
Pitch.
Pitch is correct. Science and religion is the next question for both teams. Creationists often argue that the second law of thermodynamics proves the impossibility of evolution. Basically, what is the second law of thermodynamics? Time on that. We're going from natural movement is from order to disorder. Poetry is the next question. In spite of his grief following the loss of his young wife, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow undertook to be the father and mother to his 3 small children. He immortalized their companionship in what poem? Jesse?
The Children's Hour.
The Children's Hour is exactly right. U.S. history is the next category for both teams. In 1922, the NAACP got the House to vote against this form of mob murder, but the bill died in the Senate. Tarang?
Anti-Lynching Act.
It is the Anti-Lynching Act. That is correct. Math is the next question again. The Babylonians invented it, the Greeks banned it, and the Hindus worshipped it, and the church used it to fend off heretics. What is the only real number that is neither negative nor...
0.
It is 0. That does tie up the score at 14 apiece. World history is our next category. In the 12th century, the great military leader took a title and became, in effect, the ruler of Japan. What was the title?
Shogun.
Miles, the correct answer is Shogun. And with that response, you did end up with a score of Shawnee Mission South 15, Blue Valley Northwest 14, an answer right at the buzzer. A great game played by both teams. Please join us again right here next week on Categories as we bring you not only the brightest but the quickest minds of high school students across Johnson County.